As in any design, feedback can be essential to proper steps forward. One way to do this in Moodle is to use the feedback feature, which allows instructors to survey students. Normally this is done at the end of the course, and this feature is built into the final week of each Moodle course. However, instructors can also create their own additional feedback activities to be performed anywhere in the course. Often this is done midway through as kind of a check-in with students. Let me show you how to create a mid-course evaluation. First, you're going to enter your course. And you're going to click Turn Editing On. Scroll down to the week you want to check in with students. This is an 8-week course, so if we're going to do it midway through, let's do it in week 4. I'm going to click on Add an Activity or Resource, and I'm going to click on the Feedback Activity, and click Add. Now in here I'm going to add a name. I'll call this Mid-Course Survey. Add a quick description. It is suggested that you do mention to students whether responses are anonymous or not, and I'll show you how to set that up in a second, but please do express if it's anonymous or if the responses will be tied to their identity. Now going down here are some of the configuration settings. The ones I'll highlight for you right now are question and submitting settings, so if you want it to be anonymous, you click here, but also student's username can be logged and shown with answers as well. You need to choose, but we have set it's anonymous up here, so we'll keep that consistent. You can also allow students multiple submissions so they can go back and edit what they've done before. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to have one-time submission, and I can also auto-number the questions. I don't want to do that. I just want to have these non-numbered. If I want to as well, after the submission, I can write a quick message. Thank you for your input. And if I'd like to, I can even link to the next activity. And finally, common module settings down here. I want to make sure this is on show. If it's on hide, I need to make sure it says show right here. I'm going to click on save and display. And it takes me right into the activity. Now here's the point where I can actually create the questions themselves. There's 2 ways to do that. I can either manually create each question, or I can use a template of questions that have been used before. Let me show you the template first. So I click on templates here, and then from this drop down I have a few pre-made ones before. For example, student survey 1, if I click here, I can get an idea of what questions have already been asked before, and I can use these if I'd like. For example, the course assignments and deadlines were clearly listed, and I can just use these. If I want to use these, I click Save Changes. If I want to change them or add additional ones, I can also click on Append New Items. I actually don't want to use these after all. I want to create my own. So I'm actually going to click on Cancel here and go back into Edit Questions. And here I need to first select the type of content. So I'm going to make my first question a short text answer. I want to make this required, so I'll click here so students can't go past this question without answering it. I'll write my question: how would you rate your experience thus far with regard to promptness of assignments being returned? I'm going to click down here, save question. Okay, and it looks pretty good. There's actually a little bit of a spelling error here, grammatical error being returned. So if I want to edit, I go back in here to the gear, and I find the end over here. I know it's a little bit hidden in the screen. And I do this, and I save changes to question. And now it's changed down here. And this is what the student will see. They'll see this here, and they'll have the blank where they can fill it in. And I can add any other type of content if I want as well. If I want my answer to take the form of a multiple choice, a longer text answer, even a numeric answer. If I want them to rate, for example, 1 through 10. I can do all of these things. If I want to add questions after this, I simply go up to Add Questions, and I can click on Select again and add a new one, for example, label. And here's a new question. I'll just type in sample so you can see what it looks like. Save question. And now this one is listed down here as well. I can move these around if I want and change the order. And at the end, once students have submitted, I can go over to Show Responses, and I can see what they've said. And I can also go over to Analysis, and it'll also show me a more numerical analysis, which I can also export to Excel if I want to see it as a spreadsheet. As we go back into the course, just to see what it looks like from a student view, once we're inside of this week here, once May 15th has happened, students will see this. So if you want them to not see it right away, you can also always hide it like this. It is recommended that you keep it at show, and once May 15th hits, they will be able to do it here.